Edward Jones is a well-established financial services firm specializing in personal investments and wealth management services. As a company, Edward Jones emphasizes building strong client relationships and providing tailored financial advice. Typical job responsibilities at Edward Jones include financial advisor roles, where candidates are responsible for developing and managing client portfolios, providing investment guidance, and offering compensative financial planning services. Candidates looking to be employed with Edward Jones should possess excellent interpersonal and communication skills, as building and maintaining client relationships is a crucial aspect of the job. Additionally, strong analytical abilities, a deep understanding of financial markets, and a commitment to ethical practices are highly valued. For the benefits, Edward Jones offers a comprehensive package that includes health and dental insurance, retirement plans, paid time off, and opportunities for professional development and career advancements. Moreover, financial advisors have the potential to build their own practices and enjoy flexibility in their own work schedules. This is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone, and in this video, I'll share with you how to pass an assessment test and get you hired for your dream job. When companies are hiring, very frequently, HR and hiring managers would like to test the candidate to make sure candidate possesses the skills and knowledge that will make him successful in the job. To determine the answer, employers use a computerized assessment tests to assess candidates' skills and experience relevant to the job. Assessment tests are also helpful to determine candidates' potential and make sure a new hire makes the right decisions on the job. In this video, you will have everything you need to get prepared for an assessment test. Make sure to watch this video from the beginning to end, and if necessary, multiple times until you understand all the questions and know how to solve them easily. If you would like to practice with the most recent questions for the assessment, please make sure to follow the link in the description and in comments of this video. And now, let's go ahead and get started so we can get you prepared. I love this question because ChatGPT cannot solve it, but you as a subscriber to this channel will be able to solve it easily. It takes 5 minutes for Abraham to run 1,000 meters. Abraham runs twice as fast as Christian. Assuming the performance of the players remains constant, by how much will Abraham beat Christian in a 1,000-meter race? You need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 100 meters. Choice B, 200 meters. Choice C, 500 meters. And last but not least, choice D, 1,000 meters. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. As usual, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer, and then we will try ChatGPT to see how well the artificial intelligence will be able to solve the challenge. The solution to this challenge is very simple. Because Abraham runs twice as fast as Christian, when Abraham will reach the finish line, Christian will run half of the distance, which would be 500 meters. So the correct answer here is choice D, 500 meters. We will use ChatGPT prompt, solve the problem, and provide detailed answers and explanations. And we will use the same problem as we just solved. When ChatGPT solves the problem, it provides the facts and it provides detailed explanations of the logic and rationale of how it solves the problem. And at the end, ChatGPT provides the solution. So let's read this conclusion. Both Abraham and Christian cover the same distance of 1,000 meters. Therefore, Abraham beats Christian by 0 meters. So the conclusion is that Abraham will not beat Christian by any meters in a race of 1,000 meters, because both will cover the same distance. Now let's analyze ChatGPT's answer. Even though the question asks about beating an opponent in the race of 1,000 meters, ChatGPT assumed that the challenge is whether both players will finish the race at all. This is why ChatGPT's answer is built with the assumption that even though Christian will only complete half the distance when Abraham is done, Christian will continue to run until the end. And because they both will cover the same distance, no participant will beat each other. Would you agree with this answer? Please post your logic, solution, and rationale in comments. And make sure to try this answer with ChatGPT to see what kind of solution you will get. In this section, we will look at the most common customer service test questions we typically see on the test. A customer service test is a type of assessment used by employers to evaluate candidates' customer service skills, abilities, and aptitude for dealing with customers. Customer service test assesses various aspects of customer service, such as communication skills, problem-solving abilities, empathy, and professionalism. The typical purpose of the customer service test is to determine candidates' potential for delivering high-quality customer service and their fit for a customer-facing role. This test helps employers to assess how well candidate can handle customer interactions, resolve issues, and represent the customer in a positive manner. Let's look at some sample customer service test questions we typically see on the test. Here's an interesting question to see how well you would deal with customer service inquiries. A customer is upset because her favorite pizza is currently unavailable. What is the best way to respond? And you're presented with 4 possible choices. Choice A. Tell the customer to speak with the manager to resolve the issue. Choice B. Offer the customer an alternative pizza option. Choice C. Inform the customer that you will check if the desired pizza is in stock. And last but not least, choice D. State that handling this matter is not within your responsibility. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Are you ready? If not, please make sure to pause this video to see if you can come up with the answers, because I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to resolve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, this question is not about picking one of the choices. This question is about a fundamental customer service principles and how you use them to answer this particular question. You also want to make sure to mention all these principles when you're answering this question in person. So what are those principles? There are 4 of them. Number 1 is acknowledging the customer's disappointment. Because her favorite pizza is not available and you show empathy, this shows your understanding of her feelings. Number 2 principle is providing an immediate alternative option, which shows responsiveness and commitment to helping the customer promptly. Number 3 principle is taking responsibility for finding a solution, which exemplifies ownerships and dedication for you to help resolve customer issue. And last but not least is the principle of offering an alternative. In this case, you can offer alternative pizza, which would demonstrate a proactive approach to addressing the customer concern and finding a suitable resolution. Based on these 4 principles, let's look at the incorrect answers and why you might avoid selecting them. Choice A. Tell the customer to speak with the manager to resolve the issue. Using this selection passes the responsibility to the manager and may make customer feel ignored and dismissed, and it is important to take initiative and attempt to assist the customer directly. Choice C. Inform the customer that you will check if the desired pizza is in stock is a good choice. But this is not the best choice. While this response shows some willingness to help, it may leave the customer waiting for the solution. Offering an immediate alternative is a more proactive approach. And last incorrect choice is choice D. State that handling this matter is not within your responsibility. Telling the customer that it's not your responsibility can come across as unhelpful and may lead to further dissatisfaction. You should strive to assist the customer as much as possible within your capacity. So as you might have figured out, I believe that the correct answer to this question is choice B. Offer an alternative pizza option. By offering an alternative pizza option, you address the customer's disappointment and demonstrate willingness to help. In addition to the suggestion, you can also offer to search for her favorite pizza flavors in competitor brands. This approach helps turn a negative situation into a positive one, where you learn more about the customer and find the proactive solution as possible suitable alternative. What do you think about this question? Do you agree with this solution? Do you have a better way to solve it? Please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. In this section, we will look at the work simulation test, which is used to evaluate candidates' ability to perform tasks and skills required for the job. The questions on this type of test typically involve simulated scenarios and tasks that are similar to what the candidate would encounter on the job, such as data analysis, customer service, and problem solving. Let's look at some sample work simulation assessment test questions to get you ready. Here's a very interesting question to determine how well you can work with others. You need to determine what is the best way to schedule a meeting with the client who is based in a different time zone and has limited availability. You need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A. Schedule the meeting without considering the client's time zone. Choice B. Email the client with several date and time options without specifying the time zone. Choice C. Check the client's time zone and suggest several date and time options that work for both the client and your manager. And last but not least, choice D. Schedule the meeting during your manager's preferred time slot without considering the client's availability or time zone. Take a close look to see if you can select the right answer. And I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice C. Option C is the best choice because it takes into consideration the client's availability and time zone. There are 2 stakeholders in this action, your manager and your client. And you need to check the time zone and suggest several date and time options that work for both the client and your manager. This will ensure that the meeting is scheduled at a convenient time for both parties, and this minimizes the risk of confusion and miscommunication. Let's also look at other options to determine why they might be incorrect. Let's look at option A. It is wrong because it ignores the client's time zone, which will lead to scheduling conflicts. Option B is also incorrect because it does not specify the time zone, which can cause confusion and miscommunication. And last but not least, option D is incorrect as well because it disregards the client's availability and time zone, which can lead to scheduling conflicts and damage the company's reputation. When you solved this challenge on your own, did you come up with the different answer? If this is the case, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. Very frequently on the test, companies look at your customer service skills. This is one of these types of questions. You work as a CSR and need to help troubleshoot internet connectivity. What is the best approach to troubleshoot slow internet speeds for a customer? You're presented with 4 choices and you need to select one. Choice A. Ask the customer to restart their modem and transfer to technical support if issue persists. Choice B. Ask the customer to restart their computer and transfer to technical support if issue persists. Choice C. Ask the customer to check their internet connection and transfer to technical support if the issue persists. And last but not least, choice D. Walk the customer through the thorough troubleshooting process, including resetting the modem and computer, checking cables and connections, and testing the internet speeds. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. If you need to pause this video, feel free to do this to reread the answers and select the correct one. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it or have a different important considerations, please make sure to bring them up in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice D. To remind you, in choice D, you would need to walk the customer through a thorough troubleshooting process, including resetting the modem and computer, checking cables and connections, and testing the internet speeds. Only this approach shows your commitment to providing excellent customer service and may even resolve the issue without need for technical support transfer. One important thing to note, the original question is kind of convoluted and it uses the acronyms. Just to clarify for you, CSR stands for Customer Service Representative. And now let's look at the incorrect choices, choices A, B, and C, to see why they are incorrect. I think those options are incorrect because they only involve asking the customer to perform a single action and then transferring them to technical support. This approach may not resolve the issue and it may result in the customer having to wait longer for the resolution. Did you come up with the different answer? If you did, please make sure to post your answer, considerations, and thought process in comments. Here's a very interesting question on how to provide recommendation to your manager for the new product line. Your manager wants you to provide a recommendation on whether to continue investing in the new product line based on your analysis of the sales data. What is the best approach to analyze the sales data and provide the recommendation? You're presented with 4 different choices. Let's look at each one of them. Choice A. Conduct a simple analysis of the sales data and provide recommendation based on initial findings. Choice B. Conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. Choice C. Provide a recommendation based on personal opinion and expertise without conducting any analysis of the sales data. And last but not least, choice D. Provide a recommendation based on the sales data from a similar product line without analyzing the sales data for the new product line. Take a close look to see if you can select the correct answer. Are you ready? Ready or not, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think the correct answer here is choice B. In choice B, you need to conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. I think this choice is correct because it allows you to provide a thorough understanding of the sales data, ensuring more accurate and informed recommendation. Conducting a comprehensive analysis of the sales data is essential in making an informed decision for your manager. Let's also look at the incorrect choices to determine why they are incorrect. Option A is too simplistic and can get the result in an incomplete assessment of the sales data. Option C is unreliable and can be seen as unprofessional since it's based on personal opinion and experience without any supporting data. And last but not least, choice D is not recommended since it involves using sales data from a similar product line, which may not be relevant to the new product line. Was your answer different? If it was, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. In this section, we will look at the personality assessment test questions. A personality assessment test is a type of psychological evaluation used during the hiring process to assess candidates' personality traits, behavioral tendencies, and work-related preferences. This test aims to provide insights on how a candidate might behave, interact with others, and fit into the company's culture. The typical purpose of personality assessment is to gauge a candidate's suitability for a particular job or work environment based on their personality traits. Personality assessment test helps employers to identify individuals who possess the desired characteristics and align with the organizational values. Let's look at some sample personality assessment test questions we typically see on the test. Here's a very interesting question which you cannot just answer because you need a strategy and approach on how to answer. You need to select from two statements, one that best describes you and one that describes you the least. And your choices for selections are: choice A, I should have all the information before making a decision. Choice B, I easily communicate with people. Choice C, I like to take responsibility for my team. And last but not least, choice D, I prefer long-term projects over short-term ones. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. And more importantly, you need to decide on what type of considerations you would choose to answer this particular question. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think is that the most important consideration here to answer this question is job relevance. You need to consider the requirements and responsibilities of the role that you're applying for. For example, one differentiation might be individual contributor role versus a leadership role. By doing this differentiation, the describe me the most will identify statements that will demonstrate the good fit for the particular job position. And for describe me the least will provide reasons why, based on the position, this may not be applicable. And obviously, you would need to support the answer with the examples from your past career. Let's look at how you might consider answering this question if you're applying for individual contributor jobs. The individual contributor jobs is where you as individual responsible for the outcomes. Samples of these jobs might be data analyst, research scientist, software engineer, quality assurance specialist, financial analyst, technical writer, graphics designer, and a lot of others. Here, the preferential answers would be choices A and D. Let's look at choice A first. Choice A, I should have all the information before making the decision. The statement for individual contributor job suggests a preference for thoughtfulness and careful decision-making. In an individual contributor role, it's important to be detailed-oriented and make informed decisions based on available information. This trait can be valuable in roles that require precise execution and attention to details. Choice D, I prefer long-term projects over short-term ones, is also preferred for individual contributor roles. This statement indicates a preference for working on the projects that have longer duration. In an individual contributor role, this trait may be beneficial for tasks or projects that require patience, persistence, and focus on long-term goals. It suggests an ability to sustain effort and commitment over the extended periods of time. Now, if you're applying for leadership position, you might consider choosing choices B and C as the ones that would represent you as a candidate for this position. Leadership positions are positions like team lead, project manager, director, vice president, department manager, sales manager, marketing manager, operations managers, human resources manager, and a lot of others. Let's look at both choices B and C individually to see why selecting them might be beneficial when applying for leadership positions. Choice B, I easily communicate with people. This statement highlights strong interpersonal communication skills, which are essential for a leadership position. Effective communication is crucial for building relationships, conveying information, and motivating and influencing others. Strong communication skills can contribute for successful leadership and collaboration within the team. Choice C, I like to take responsibility for my team, highlights the desire to take ownership and accountability for the success in the team. In a leadership position, the ability to assume responsibility, provide guidance, and support team members is crucial. It indicates a willingness to lead by example, make decisions, and make necessary actions to drive team performance and achieve goals. One important point to understand is that I'm not asking you to provide an incorrect answers. I'm asking you to decide how your past experiences can be helpful to the role you're applying for. There is a valid you selected to apply for this particular position, and the reason is because you believe your qualifications are aligned with position description. So what you need to do here, answering this question, you need to align the answers with the job requirements. My 3 recommendations for you on how to answer these types of questions is provide authenticity, provide self-reflection, and provide supporting examples. Let's look at each one individually to help you decide how to answer this particular question. Let's look at number 1, authenticity. You need to provide honest and genuine responses that accurately reflect your personality traits and tendencies. It is essential to be true to yourself and true to your employer rather than trying to present what you think the employer might be looking for. Number 2 is self-reflection. Take a moment to reflect on your own characteristics and behaviors. Consider your strengths, weaknesses, preferences, and areas where you excel or struggle. And number 3, think of the supporting examples. Justify your choices by providing specific examples or instances from your past experience. This helps add credibility to your responses and allows the employer to understand your reasons and thought process. Next, I'm going to share with you my answer if you're applying for the leadership position. And I'm also going to ask you to provide your answer for the individual contributor role. For example, if you're applying for leadership position, I recommend that you choose choice C and choice A. Choice C, I like to take responsibility for my team, would represent the answer that best describes you. Your actual justification for this choice may sound like this. As a leader, I thrive on guiding and supporting my team towards success. I believe that fostering a collaborative and empowering work environment where individuals can grow and excel. Taking responsibility for my team means ensuring their development, providing guidance when needed, and creating a cohesive and motivated group that can achieve outstanding results. The statement that describes you the least might be choice A, and choice A states, I should have all the information needed before making the decision. The justification for the answer might be, while I value the thoughtfulness and informed decision-making, as a leader, I understand that time-sensitive situations may require making decisions with limited information. I am comfortable relying on my experience, intuition, and the input of trusted team members to make timely decisions while considering the available information. I'm also open to adjusting decisions as more information becomes available to ensure the best possible outcomes. Now, what do you think the answer should be for the individual contributor role? Please make sure to post your answer, recommendation, and justification in comments of this video so we can all learn. I love this question because it tests candidates' ability to prioritize as well as candidates' leadership skills. You're presented with the question where you need to select 2 statements. One statement that best describes you and another that describes you the least. The 4 possible answers to this question would be A, I can organize my work schedule by myself. Choice B, I work even better when everything goes wrong. Choice C, I think small details are important. And last but not least, choice D, I like to be best player on my team. Take a close look to see if you can come up with two answers. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer, and obviously if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Let's first look at the important considerations on how you can select the right answer. There are three important considerations here, and they all fall into one category: job relevance. You need to consider the requirements and responsibilities of the role you're applying for. Number two, you need to think about how each statement relates to the demands of the position. And last but not least, number three, you need to choose the statement that demonstrates a good fit for the job and showcases qualities that would be beneficial for the specific context. Let's take a look at how you would select the right answer in the specific categories. Let's start by looking at the choice A. I can organize my work schedule by myself. If you choose this answer, it would show that you're a self-structured person that could work independently. Choice B, I work even better when everything goes wrong, shows your stress tolerance, your ability to work in stressful and unpredictable situations. Choice C, I think small details are important, would show your level of attention to details that could be important for jobs such as accounting, programming, controller, and other jobs that require attention to details. And last but not least, choice D, I like to be the best player on my team, shows how competitive you are. This is a good choice for the sales position, but could be a problematic choice for the manager roles. Let's look at the examples of the choices that best describe me. One of the choices that you might select would be choice A. I can organize my work schedule by myself. I am a very disciplined person. I can independently prioritize different tasks, and I can take responsibility of the results of my job. I prefer to organize my work schedule by myself without over-attention from managers. I can be much more productive by working in this way. This is why I selected the choice A. I can organize my work schedule by myself. Now let's look at the choice that least describes you and considerations you might consider providing. For that statement, I selected choice D. I like to be the best player on my team. Of course, I want to show off my skills and I want results be fairly evaluated. But I understand the importance of teamwork for good results. And in this way, I can do a back office job when it's necessary. I will put overall results of my team in the first place, even if it temporarily slows down my own results and my progress. Do you have any other suggestions on how you can answer this type of questions? Please make sure to post them in comments so we can all learn. In this section, we will look at some sample mechanical aptitude questions you typically see on the test. A mechanical aptitude test is an assessment designed to measure a person's understanding of mechanical principles and their ability to apply them in various situations. Mechanical aptitude tests typically assess several key areas, including mechanical comprehension questions, which gauge your understanding of basic mechanical principles such as gears, pulleys, levers, and simple machines. You also get spatial reasoning questions in this test, which assess your ability to mentally manipulate the objects in three-dimensional space. Some questions focus on tools and instruments, and they evaluate your familiarity with common tools and instruments used in mechanical work. And last but not least category is mechanical problem-solving questions, which present you with mechanical problems or scenarios and test your ability to analyze and solve them. Let's look at some sample mechanical aptitude questions we typically see on the test. Here is the challenging problem by solving which you will boost your cognitive abilities. You're presented with 5 hints, and using these hints, you need to unlock the code and open the lock. The hints are: in the digits 248, only one digit is correct and well placed. In the digits 845, 2 digits are correct but not correctly placed. In the digits 461, only one digit is correct and it is correctly placed. In the digits 592, only one digit is correct and it is well placed. And last but not least, hint that in the digits 904, none of the digits are correct. To open the lock, you need to process all the hints and select 1 out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 518. Choice B, 485. Choice C, 418. And last but not least, choice D, 568. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. I'm pretty sure you're done solving it by now, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer and solution. And if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, you solve this problem through elimination. And I'm going to start with the hint number 5, because it's the most helpful of all. Once we've learned that in combination 904 none of the digits are correct, we can eliminate two possible answers. We can eliminate both choices B and C because both of them have digit 4, which is an incorrect digit. Let's continue elimination to get to the correct answer. If we look through the remaining 4 hints, we learn that in hint 1, where digits are 2, 4, 8, only one digit is correctly placed, which is digit 8. In hint 2, 2 digits are correct, but they're not correctly placed, and they're digits 8 and 5. In hint 3, only one digit 6 is correct, and it is correctly placed. And last but not least, in hint 4, digit 5 is correct, and it is well placed. Based on this, the correct answer here is choice D, 5, 6, 8. Do you have any hints to show how to best solve these types of challenges? If you do, please make sure to post them in comments. This is one of the most exciting questions because it allows you to test your analytical skills and understanding of physics. You need to determine which fan throws more air if all the fans rotate at the same speed. The choices are fan A, fan B, fan C, and last but not least, choice D, neither fan. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Are you ready? I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might be well aware, there are two key factors to help determine the airflow rate. The first one is the size of the fan's blade, and the second one is rotational speed of the fan, which is measured in RPMs, which stands for revolution per minute. A fan with the larger blades can capture and move more air per revolution compared to the same fan design with the smaller blades. And this is exactly what we're dealing with here in this question. In addition, the rotational speed of the fan affects the airflow design. The higher RPM generally results in a higher airflow rate as the fan blades are able to move through the air at the faster rate. As you can see here, the fans A, B, and C all have the same design. This is why, given the fact that 3 fans have the same design but different sizes, the fan with the largest size will throw more air compared to the smaller fans. This is why the correct answer here is choice C. Did you get to the same answer? If not, please share your answer and rationale in comments. And now I have a question for you to practice your skills. You're presented with the seesaw. On the left of the seesaw there is a weight, and on the right side of the seesaw there is an acrobat. You need to determine in which direction should the acrobat move his body to balance the seesaw. And you have 2 choices, choice A to the left or choice B to the right. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the answer. And once ready, make sure to post your answer in comments so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck solving the challenge. Let's look at the question where you need to determine the trajectory after parachutists jump from the plane. Obviously, based on the wind and other external conditions, there would be multiple choices, but fortunately, you need to select only one out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, and C. And if none of the choices A, B, and C is correct, you need to select choice D, which would represent neither one. Take a close look to see what is the parachutist's trajectory after jumping from the plane. I have full confidence in your skills and knowledge, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To better understand the answer, we need to determine what changes from when parachutist is inside the plane and when parachutist jumps from the plane. When parachutist is inside the plane, both the parachutist and the airplane are moving together in the same direction. When parachutist jumps from the plane, there are multiple forces that will determine the trajectory. Number 1 is inertia. According to Newton's first law of motion, the law of inertia, the parachutist will continue moving forward in the direction of the plane. Initially, the parachutist will have the velocity they had inside the plane, but they will slow down over time due to air resistance. Another force that will define the trajectory is the force of gravity. As soon as the parachutist leaves the plane, they will be subject to the force of gravity. Gravity pulls the parachutist downward toward the earth. And the last force that will drive the trajectory would be acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is the force that pulls objects toward the earth. When something is in the air, gravity causes it to fall toward the ground. The acceleration due to gravity is always the same for all objects near the Earth's surface, and it means that objects will fall faster and faster the longer they fall. So let's look closely at what's going to happen after parachutist jumps. After jumping, the parachutist initially maintains the horizontal velocity due to inertia. Once outside the airplane, they accelerate downward due to gravity until they reach terminal velocity. The deployment of the parachute increases air resistance, allowing for controlled descent, allowing parachutists to land safely. The closest answer that describes the solution is choice A. Is this what you got in your answer? If not, please make sure to post your solution and rationale in comments so we can all learn. I love this question because it truly tests your knowledge of mechanical engineering. You're presented with acrobat and the weight on a seesaw. You need to determine in which direction should the acrobat move his body to balance the seesaw. And you only have two choices. Choice A to the left or choice B to the right. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might be well aware, the seesaw is an example of a lever where fulcrum is between the effort and the load. In our example, we have a weight on the left side of the seesaw and acrobat on the right side of the seesaw. The key principle of balancing the seesaw is when a force is applied to the end of the lever can lift the weight at the other end. For the seesaw to be balanced, the torque applied to the acrobat must increase. Since the acrobat's weight is constant, the only way to increase the input torque is by increasing the distance from the fulcrum. If acrobat moves in the direction B, this will shift the acrobat's center of gravity further from the fulcrum, resulting in a greater torque, thereby balancing it. So the correct answer here is choice B, moving the acrobat to the right. And now I have a question for you to practice your skills. We have 3 different scenarios of person moving the object. Choices A, B, and C. If all items weigh the same, which object would be easiest to move forward if the same person is pushing with equal force? You need to select one out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, or choice D, neither one. When you solve this challenge, please make sure to post your answer in comments so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's an amazing problem where you need to exercise your brain and cognitive skills by calculating not just one number, but 2 numbers. You're presented with the scale, and you see that the value of diamond as well as the sum values are missing. And you need to ensure that scale remains balanced by calculating the value of the diamond as well as the sum. And once you've done with your calculations, you need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, values 18 and 96. Choice B, values 12 and 88. Choice C, values 20 and 92. And last but not least, choice D, values 19 and 94. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can complete the calculations. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the calculations. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To solve this challenge, let's look at the picture closely to better understand what we're dealing with. We're presented with the multi-tier scale, and this scale has 4 tiers: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4. Scale remains in balance because values on the left side and on the right side are equal, and the values are represented by the total of numbers inside of each shape. For example, circle has number 12, hexagon has number 6, triangle has number 3, and square has number 4. Let's look closely at Tier 3 to better understand how this tier remains in balance. As I already mentioned, each tier remains in balance because the numbers are equal on both sides. So on the left of the Tier 3, we have 2 hexagons with total value of 12. On the right of the Tier 3, we have hexagon, which equals number 6, plus 2 triangles, 3 plus 3. So on both sides, the total value is 12. This is why Tier 3 remains in balance. Now let's look closely at the Tier 2. On the left of the Tier 2, we have 2 circles. Each circle has a value of 12. 2 circles would be equal 24. On the left of the tier 2, we have two circles with total value of 24 and the entire tier 3, which also equals 24. This what keeps tier 2 in balance. Now, knowing this logic, we can calculate the missing value on tier 4. Because tier 4 needs to remain in balance, the value of 12 plus 6 should be equal to the missing value, which means that the missing value is 18. And the total sum will be calculated as the sum of all the numbers. The sum of tier 2 and tier 3 would be 24 plus 24 plus 48 on the right side of tier 1, which would equal 96. So the correct answer here is choice A, 18 and 96. Did you get to the different answer? Please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your knowledge of mechanical movement of objects. You're presented with the picture of person moving the object, and you need to determine if all objects weigh the same, which one will be easiest to move forward if the same person is pushing with equal force. You need to select one out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, person moving forward a cube. Choice B, person moving forward a hexagon. Choice C, person moving forward a ball. And last but not least is neither one. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution, and obviously if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Let's analyze all shapes individually to better understand the answer. Let's start with the cube. Cube typically has a symmetrical weight distribution, which can contribute to its stability when moving on the ground. However, due to its edges and corners, a cube can experience higher levels of friction when compared to objects with rounded shapes and will be hard to roll. Most likely way of moving the cube forward would be pushing it, which will create a lot of resistance. Now let's look at the hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides, and the shape can vary depending upon the specific dimensions and proportions. Compared to a cube, a hexagon generally has fewer edges and corners, which reduces the friction and makes it easier to move on the ground by rolling. Even though it might be easier to move than the cube, the ease of movement will also depend on the specific dimensions and weight distribution of the hexagon. Which brings us to choice C, sphere or ball, which typically has a smooth surface. The absence of edges and corners reduces the contact area with the ground, which results in a lower friction. This makes it easier to move the ball forward by rolling on the ground, compared to objects with edges or corners. This is why choice C is correct. It will have minimum friction and will facilitate smooth movement with minimum resistance. In this section, we will look at the logical reasoning questions that are used to evaluate candidates' ability to reason and draw logical conclusions from the information given. The questions on this type of test typically involve sequences of shapes and numbers, analogies, and deductive reasoning questions. Let's look at some sample logical reasoning assessment test questions to get you prepared. Here's a tricky problem which some might find challenging, but you, being a subscriber to this channel, will solve very easily. You're presented with 3 expressions. Each expression is of a different color. And one of the items in the third expression, which represented by the blue color, is missing. You need to select the missing item, which is currently question mark, out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Consider pausing this video to see if you need more time to find the solution. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer, and obviously if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To solve any challenge, the key is to find the pattern. And this question is no exception. The pattern here is rather unusual, but it still exists. And the pattern here is that there are 3 core shapes represented by objects in the first column. The core objects here are arrow pointing up, star, and the circle. And all remaining objects are just the variations which is created by merging core objects into another object. Let me demonstrate by starting with the red sequence. Red sequence is created by starting with arrow, merging arrow with the star, and then merging the result with the circle. Yellow expression is created by starting with the star, merging it with the circle, and then merging the result with the arrow. And last but not least, blue sequence starts with the circle completes the merger with the star, and then missing item can be created by doing another merger with the arrow. As you might have noticed, the objects here presented as expressions instead of being a sequence. There's no other reason to do it than just to confuse you. Did you get to the same answer? If not, please post your ideas, solution, and rationale in comments. I love this challenge because it tests your analytical skills and spatial reasoning skills so well. You need to find the resulting shape after the transformations. You're presented with the square that consists of different triangles of a different color, and you need to turn the original shape 90-degree clockwise 3 times. You have 4 different choices to select the shape after the transformations. Choice A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can calculate the final solution. Did you figure it out? Because I am moving forward to share with you my version and my way of solving it. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To solve this challenge, you need to mentally turn the original shape 90 degrees 3 times. This is not easy to do because our brain is not really designed for this. But if we take one of the triangles and try to follow this triangle by turning the original square, this task might be much easier to accomplish. The caveat here is that we need to select triangles that are not symmetrical on both sides. For example, red triangles are symmetrical. You see red triangles on the left and red triangles on the right. And if we try to follow it, it would be extremely hard to detect where the red triangle will end up. But if we take green triangles, any one of them, or yellow triangles, they're much easier to follow. So let's do the turning. Let's take the original square, and I am going to follow the green triangle on the left. Let's do the first turn 90 degrees. You see that the green triangle ended up on the top. Let's do another turn. We follow the same green triangle, and now it's on the right side. And the last 90-degree turn, our green triangle ended up at the bottom. So the correct choice here is choice A, where green triangle ended up on the bottom. Do you have a better way to solve it? Or maybe did you come up with a different solution? Please make sure to post your thoughts and rationale in comments. Here's a very interesting question which might make you think, but hopefully you will get it very quickly. If 5 people can sew 5 shirts in 5 minutes, how long will it take for 100 people to sew 100 shirts? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 500 minutes. Choice B, 100 minutes. Choice C, 5 minutes. And last but not least, choice D, 60 minutes. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can get to the right answer. And on my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Here's the trick. If 5 people can sew 5 shirts in 5 minutes, we can say that 1 person can sew a shirt in 5 minutes. Now, if 100 people work together, their combined productivity will be 100 that of 1 person. Because we can scale up so easily in this production, it will take 100 people 5 minutes to sew 100 shirts. So the correct answer here is choice C, 5 minutes. Did you get to the same answer? If you didn't, please make sure to share your answer and rationale in comments. In this section, we will look at the sample questions for verbal reasoning test for employment, which typically represents an assessment used by employers to measure candidates' ability to comprehend and analyze written information. The questions typically involve reading passages, answering questions based on the information presented, as well as identifying relationships between words and understanding the vocabulary. Let's look at some sample questions that you typically see on the test to make sure you get ready. Here's an amazing question which tests your logical reasoning and verbal reasoning skills. You're presented with 3 verbal statements, and you need to determine if the final statement is true. The first statement is, most small businesses are family-owned. The second statement is, most family-owned businesses are profitable. And the last statement, most small businesses are profitable. Is this statement true? You need to select out of 3 possible choices. Choice A, yes. Choice B, no. And last but not least, choice C is uncertain. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the solution. Are you ready? Because on my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is A, yes, which means that most small businesses are profitable, and this is the accurate statement. Which means that the statement, most small businesses are profitable, is true. Let me explain you why. If most small businesses are family-owned, and most family-owned businesses are profitable, then it stands to reason that most small businesses are also profitable. What's interesting to note about this question is that answer C, uncertain, might also be accurate, and some test systems might be configured to accept it as the accurate answer. And the main reason is that the relationship between the statements are unclear, or if there's insufficient information to make logical conclusions, you can answer uncertain. Was your answer different? Please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. I love this question because the answer represents such a powerful business concept. You're presented with 10 letters, and you need to build English business word by using each letter only once. The letters are N, I-N, A-V-O, and I-T-O. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the solution. I am going to give you a quick hint. The word refers to the process of introducing new ideas, products, services, or processes that add value to society, the economy, or organizations. Did you figure it out? I hope the hint was helpful because I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And if you have a better way to solve it, as usual, please make sure to post in comments. My answer is innovation, and the word is spelled as I-N-N-O-V-A-T-I-O-N. What's interesting is that innovation involves combining creativity, technology, and practicality to develop new solutions that meet people's needs and address emerging challenges. Innovation is also crucial for the growth and development of the businesses, economies, and societies, and it drives competitiveness, productivity, and progress. Let's look at the examples of the most recent consumer innovations. Number 1 is streaming services. The popularity of streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus disrupted the traditional TV industry by offering on-demand access to the vast library of movies and TV shows. The fact that I can broadcast my videos and share them with you directly is also part of streaming services innovation. The next one on my list is electric cars. The development of electric cars by companies such as Tesla, Nissan, and Chevrolet has provided consumers with a more sustainable and energy-efficient alternative to traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. Another example of recent innovation is wearable technology. The emergence of wearable technologies such as smartwatches, fitness trackers, and virtual reality headsets had powered people to track their health and fitness, stay connected, and experience immersive digital content. We also recently enjoyed innovation of online marketplaces. Companies such as Amazon, eBay, and Etsy revolutionized the way people shop by providing them with vast selection of products, competitive prices, and fast delivery options. And last but not least on my list is the smart home technology. The rise of smart home technology allowed people to control and automate various aspects of their homes, from lighting and temperature to security and entertainment, using voice commands and mobile apps. Do you know any other examples of recent innovations? Please make sure to share them in comments so we can all learn. A very interesting question for you to try your skills. You're presented with 9 letters of the English alphabet, and you need to build English business word. The letters are O-L-S-U-O-T-I-N-S. Take a close look to see if you can construct English business word. I am going to give you a quick hint. The word refers to a set of products, services, and strategies that are designed to solve specific business problems and meet the needs of organizations. Did you figure it out? The answer is solutions. Business solutions are typically developed by vendors or service providers who have expertise in particular industry or functional area. The word is spelled as S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N-S. And the goal of business solutions is to help organizations improve their efficiency, productivity, profitability, and overall performance by addressing specific challenges or opportunities in a strategic and effective manner. Can you come up with any other words using the same letters only once? If you did, Please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. Very frequently, you might be presented with the question where you need to determine the relationship. This is one of these types of questions. You need to determine if CEO is to the company as choice A, quarterback is to football, choice B, director is to a movie, choice C, conductor is to orchestra, choice D, pilot is to plane, or choice E, chef is to restaurant. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the right relationship. This is not an easy question, but keep in mind that you have a choice of pausing this video and maybe thinking about it for 10 to 20 seconds to see if you can come up with the answer. Did you figure it out? Let me share with you my version of the answer, and obviously if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To understand the answer to this question, we need to understand who the CEO is. And the CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer, is responsible for making strategic decisions and overseeing the overall operations for the company. Knowing this information, let's build an analogy. CEO is to a company is as a leader to the organization. In the next step, let's look at the choices we're presented with and build similar analogies. For example, quarterback is to football is as a leader to the type of the sport. Choice B, director is to a movie is as a leader to the final product of work. Choice C, conductor is to orchestra is as a leader to the team. Choice D, pilot is to a plane is similar to the leader of the machine. And last but not least, choice E, chef to the restaurant is as a leader to the organization. As you can see, by eliminating the options that do not maintain the relationship, we found the correct pair of words that represent the correct analogy. Based on this information, the correct answer here is choice E, chef is to restaurant. Did you come up with a different solution? Please make sure to post your answer, solution, and rationale in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your English business vocabulary. You need to build English business word using all the letters presented on the screen, and you only need to use each letter once. The letters are GOI, SLT, ICS. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Because I want you to succeed so much, I'm going to give you a quick hint. The word represents the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the movements of storage of goods or materials from the point of origin to the point of consumption. Did you figure it out? I'm going to move forward and share with you my version of the answer. But if you have a better way or alternative way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. The answer is logistics. The word is spelled as LOGISTICS. To get better at solving these types of challenges, try to visualize the word and try different combinations. For example, if you look at original 9 letters, you will see that if we start from the middle, you can start building the word LOG, and then you build the remainder of the word to get to the correct answer. Do you have any other tips, tricks, or techniques that can help you solve these types of challenges? Please make sure to post them in comments. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and help you to pass any test. If the content was helpful, please click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we'll make sure to deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials. I really appreciate you for your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become YouTube member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.